Okay, let's dive into this. For the last few years, literally the entire tech world has been completely obsessed with modernization. You know the drill. We've all been busy lifting and shifting to the cloud, breaking monoliths into microservices, all of that. But the game has fundamentally changed. We are right in the middle of this massive, industry-wide shift from simply modernizing static applications to building AI-native, highly intelligent apps and agents. We aren't just bolting on a few smart features anymore. We are completely reinventing how software actually creates value. And to really put the scale of this shift into perspective, just look at this number, 81%. According to the 2025 Work Trend Index, 81% of business leaders expect AI agents to be a core part of their company's strategy in just the next 12 to 18 months. Think about that. That's not some distant, futuristic trend that you can put off until next year. It is a massive, immediate urgency. Honestly, if you aren't laying the groundwork for these capabilities right now, your organization is already falling behind the curve. So we have to pause for a second and ask ourselves, what actually makes these AI apps so radically different from the software we've been building for the last decade? It's an absolutely vital question. Modern AI applications, well, they're cloud native, yes, but they are fundamentally powered by agents that don't just sit there passively waiting for a user to click a button. They reason over data in real time, they take autonomous action, they adapt to context, and crucially, they continuously improve by learning. We're moving from static, predictable experiences to dynamic, highly predictive interactions. So, to understand how to actually build these systems, we're going to take a bit of a factory tour for this explainer. We'll quickly cover 1. The era of agentic DevOps, 2. The AI app factory, 3. Your AI data foundation, 4. Scaling to the edge, and finally, 5. Secure and governed AI. All right, section 1. The era of agentic DevOps. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it frames the drafting table of our metaphorical factory. Agentic DevOps is just a total paradigm shift in how we build. It's all about integrating AI agents across the entire software lifecycle. We're talking handling routine tasks, streamlining your testing, and automatically enforcing security. We are way past the days where development is just sort of assisted by AI tools. Development is now fundamentally powered by collaborative AI teammates. And this approach, it strips away all that repetitive friction and massively accelerates your time to market. Because we all know the old maze of complexity developers face, right? You're constantly switching tabs, wiring up infrastructure, dealing with a dozen fragmented tools, and let's be honest, just crossing your fingers and praying your CI/CD pipelines actually work. But GitHub Copilot in agent mode frees developers from that entire maze. Instead of just suggesting a line of code here and there, it can now analyze your entire code base, generate complex tests, fix bugs, and even suggest terminal commands, literally all from a single prompt. It acts like an actual teammate handling the busy work so you can focus on real innovation. And when you're finally ready to start building, Azure AI app templates are basically the ultimate shortcut on your assembly line. They completely eliminate that painful from-scratch setup phase. They jumpstart your projects with pre-built blueprints for things like customer support bots, document summarizers, or multimodal search tools. You just customize them and deploy right through VS Code. Last of all, they come seamlessly pre-wired with Azure AI Search and OpenAI, and they have responsible AI principles baked in from day one. Moving right along to section 2, the AI app factory. We are now entering the engine room. All right, we've drafted our plans and bypassed the setup friction. Let's look at what's actually powering these apps. The sheer scale of what's available to you here is staggering. 11,000. That is the exact number of out-of-the-box models developers have access to right now in Azure AI Foundry. We're talking about top-tier proprietary models like Azure OpenAI's GPT-4o, sitting right alongside leading open models like Meta's Llama 3, Mistral, and Cohere. Having this expansive intelligence layer means you can always pick the absolute perfect model for your specific workload, whether you need lightning-fast speed, deep reasoning, or complex multimodal input. But having a massive catalog of models is really just the start. So the crucial point is how you actually manage them without losing your mind. The Azure AI Foundry Developer Workbench unifies your entire toolchain. You've got Microsoft Copilot Studio for intuitive low-code design, you've got Visual Studio for rich IDE debugging, and you have GitHub for robust collaboration and deployment. It literally takes model selection, orchestration, and lifecycle management and brings it all under one single secure enterprise-grade roof. And here's where the technical magic really happens: agent orchestration. As you build more advanced systems, you aren't just pinging one isolated model. You're coordinating multiple AI agents to collaborate,
share memory, and achieve complex outcomes together. By using the Azure AI Foundry Agent Service, the Microsoft Agent Framework, or AutoGen, you can coordinate these tasks perfectly. Orchestration is the absolute secret to building highly sophisticated, multi-agent copilots without introducing total chaos. It keeps your agents working together smoothly, like a well-oiled assembly line.
Which brings us to Section 3, your AI Data Foundation. Let's talk about the database. Because let's be real, an AI is only as smart as the data it can reason over and the context it can actually remember. Databases are the beating heart and the memory center of any AI application. So let's look at your options here. Azure Cosmos DB is perfect for globally distributed, low-latency apps, and it features native vector search and thread storage. Azure SQL Database handles your open-source, relational, and analytics-heavy workloads, also with native vector indexing. And then Azure Database for PostgreSQL covers your enterprise relational needs using the PG Vector extension. The so what here is huge. Take Cosmos DB's thread storage, for instance. It securely manages chat history directly in the database. That gives your AI agents the actual memory they require to understand deep conversational context over multiple turns. And because of these specific database capabilities, you can leverage RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation. This is basically the process of combining those massive language models with your own external database knowledge via vector embeddings. For the technical decision makers watching this, RAG is the absolute key to giving your AI domain-specific intelligence. By querying relevant, grounded context before generating a response, it's how you improve accuracy and drastically reduce those notorious AI hallucinations we all hear about. But to pull RAG off effectively, you need purpose-built infrastructure. The old way of wiring up legacy infrastructure as a service, it just means manual setup, limited semantic indexing, high operational overhead, and incredibly frustrating latency bottlenecks. Actually, scratch that, it's a nightmare. On the flip side, AI-optimized databases come pre-configured with native RAG support, built-in scalability, and the low-latency retrieval that real-time AI decision-making absolutely demands. That takes us right into Section 4, Scaling to the Edge. It is time to deploy. So our app is built, it's orchestrated, and it's deeply grounded in our data. Now we hit the deployment phase of our factory, where we ship these intelligent applications out into the real world. Let's move to and see how this builds depending on your app's size and specific function. Because Azure offers the exact right deployment vessel to build a complete cloud-native environment. You've got Azure App Service, which is fantastic for web-based AI agents and APIs. If you need something lightweight and event-driven that can cost-effectively scale to zero, Azure Container Apps is definitely your go-to. And for those massive, complex distributed workloads or intricate multi-agent systems, you have the raw power of Azure Kubernetes Service, or AKS. But deployment doesn't always stop at the cloud. We are scaling to the edge for real-time responsiveness. Pushing AI directly to the edge, think deploying an agent onto hardware out in an agricultural field or on a noisy factory floor for IoT predictive maintenance, is an absolute game changer. It avoids those centralized cloud bottlenecks, drastically reduces data transfer costs, improves local privacy, and ensures your application can make lightning-fast autonomous decisions precisely where the data is actually generated. And finally, Section 5, Secure and Governed AI. This is the quality assurance step. We have reached the last, and honestly, arguably the most critical step of our assembly line, the robust immune system of your AI lifecycle. You have to take this incredibly seriously, because sensitive data exposure is consistently identified as the absolute top concern for risk leaders right now. That's exactly why you need a multi-layered approach. We secure the code, protect the infrastructure, govern the data, manage identity, and provide strict runtime safeguards. This interlocking design ensures that if one layer is somehow compromised by a novel threat, the other layers hold strong to prevent further damage. And this brilliantly illustrates how this security goes incredibly deep. We aren't just securing traditional app infrastructure anymore. We are explicitly securing the AI itself against brand new vectors. For example, Microsoft Defender for Cloud can actually catch malicious prompt injections during active attacks. Microsoft Purview protects your sensitive data during real-time inferencing. Microsoft Entra ID provides Entra Agent ID, making sure your autonomous agents operate securely with least privileged access. And Azure AI Content Safety actively filters out biased or harmful outputs in real time, ultimately protecting your users and your brand. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative challenge to think about. Are you building for yesterday's cloud or tomorrow's AI? The shift to agentic, autonomous applications isn't some distant future prediction. It is happening right now, today. As we've seen on our factory tour, Azure provides the comprehensive, unified platform you need to build, scale, and securely govern the incredible AI agents of the future. Thank you so much for joining me, and I highly encourage you to look at your own development pipelines today and ask yourself if they are truly ready for what's next.